Approaching that finish line, G2 Lage, it's gonna be Hen. He was looking for his moment all weekend long. He was a favorite coming into this tournament, and Lage finally getting that first place he was looking for, but a little bit too late for him. He will not be on our podium, but what a remarkable finish from him. And b0x, I think he might have done it with that position, finishing ahead of Roadrunner.
What is up, guys? My name is Davey. I'm also known as GTR Kicker. I'm joined by my good friend DRO Roadkill. And of course, you guys know who that is. That is Forza RC World Champion Noble b0x. We are off the track.
Hey guys.
Welcome to our first episode. This is pretty cool. Yeah. How you doing, man? How are you? It's nice to have you on stream and everything.
Yeah, I'm great, and I had a blast streaming today earlier.
Yeah, you're doing. You have your own Twitch channel and everything now too. That's pretty cool. That going pretty well for you.
Yeah, they do. I'm honestly so surprised by the numbers I'm getting, and I'm very grateful for that. That I can take that opportunity to the max level.
Yeah, kind of using your sort of reputation from Forza RC to sort of get people viewing you. That's pretty awesome. So, I mean, first question. I mean, that video we just played. You know, of you winning, you can see your reaction. Tell me about that. Like, what's going through your mind? I know Jason and I have some awesome questions about that. I mean, what's going on with that?
It simply was unbelievable. It's hard to describe what went through my mind. I mean, in that moment, something happened where I didn't think it was even possible. I was always thinking that the best possible result will be a top 3, and out of nowhere I just won the whole thing, and it took a bit to actually realize, which is why my tears, for example, they came like 2 minutes later or something. And I don't know, it's the thing is, I started on pole, but even with that pole position I didn't think I could win that, simply because in the other events where I had a good position for the finals, I had some trouble in the finals for being too nervous.
Okay.
But yeah, like I did some mistakes, like double tone shift, which completely destroyed my engine, which wasn't very good for the finals.
I'll say it hurt your chances, yeah.
Yeah.
But this time I was able to keep it together and to actually bring it home.
Yeah. What was it like? Was there like an added pressure for being on pole? Like, you know, because there's kind of like an expectation there, like, oh, I'm starting first, you know, I got to keep it.
Yeah, like, what's your mental process? Oh, sorry. What's your mental process going into like a situation like that?
I think I'm more comfortable in starting in first, because the job is already done. You only have to defend the position. When you start in second, you actually have to think what moves you could actually pull to try to gain that position. So I just try to drive away and that the people behind me have some trouble so that I can get some distance, which gladly happened in every race on like Spa and Silverstone. And there I actually felt pretty comfortable.
Really? Okay. That's kind of cool. So what was it like sort of in the semifinals? I know obviously in the finals you're up front for most of the night, but, you know, in the semifinals you were up there with Lage and Lightning for a lot of it. What was that like? Trying to defend or trying to pass those guys?
The thing is, I think I started behind Lage and Virus and Wood America, and I passed them both in turn 1 because they made a mistake. But at the end of lap 1, I did a mistake by myself. I was braking too late, which allowed Lightning to pass me. And I really thought in that moment that I messed up my chance to start on pole position. That I basically had it in my hands, but I messed it up. But then on the next race at Suzuka, the incident happened between Lightning and Lage.
Yeah.
And I was able to regain the first place.
Yeah. I wanna talk about that accident, because here I have a video here. Well, let's play the video real quick of the semifinals and Lage and Lightning crashing in the lead at Suzuka.
I love the visuals we're seeing here, that awesome shot of that wide turn, all these drivers trying to keep that as tight as possible, and we're also getting a great picture. Oh my gosh, a huge collision here, the top two in the front, Lightning and Lage completely colliding, and they're going to fall all the way to the back. No one expected this. Meanwhile, who's going to take advantage of that?
Seeing that, like, that had to be music to your ears, like, or music to your eyes, I should say. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what goes through your mind when you see that? Because personally, when I saw that, first off, I like stood up. I was like, I couldn't believe what just happened, and
me neither.
And on top of that, like, I thought that was like a turning point in the whole thing, like, because that put them down the order for semifinals, for going into the finals, and that kind of left you and Mitch and a couple other guys up top there. So when you see that in front of you, because you were in third, when you see that, what are you thinking? Like, oh my gosh, like, this is my time, like.
Yeah, right at the moment when it was happening, I simply couldn't believe it. I thought it's lag or glitch in the game or something. Like, I literally couldn't believe it. But after it slowly went into my head that it's actually real, I mean, I knew that after that chance, I messed up in the first race, that now I have to get it.
Yeah.
And rivals who was behind me put some extreme pressure on me, like he was all over me, but I was able to defend the position.
That's pretty intense, though. I can imagine,
Yeah, I can't imagine making defenses against those guys. Like,
yeah. So what was that whole experience? How was your week in Seattle and all that? How did can you take us through a couple of things that maybe you did with like turn 10 or anything like that?
Yeah, it was a truly awesome weekend. Like, when they fly us into these events, like, they really take care of us and everything. And on Friday we were shooting things like these profile pics they used in the broadcast and everything, and it was really professional setup. As for example, everyone got their own makeup, so we actually had to go through some 10 minutes makeup.
So for those,
I'm sure that's a first for most of you.
Yeah, for those pictures, for those pictures that you had to take for like your profiles, I'm assuming you guys were in makeup for those.
Yeah, we were.
Did you have a hairstylist as well?
They only did makeup. But yeah, she also did something with my hair a bit, like.
Interesting.
It was quite fun to be there, and when you are there, everyone is so positive and excited, so it's really fun to hang out. Later on that day, we went to turn 10, but I can't really say much as we had to sign an NDA.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
So one of the other things that I thought was when I was watching the finals was you know, at Le Mans, the very last race, Roadrunner was making his way through the field. You spun out like in the second turn or something like that. And I was like, wow, what, you know, Roadrunner's up there in the pack, man. He had a shot there. I mean, did you know that like he was still moving forward and you know there really wasn't much you could do?
You know, when you race in multiplayer, you can always see on the left what positions they are. And I was always able to see that Roadrunner was just right in front of me. Even when people crashed, I was always able to overtake them as well. So that Roadrunner never really was able to get a proper gap. But it was getting really dangerous towards the end, as the more spots you make, the greater the points difference gets.
Right.
So I'm not really sure how it would have ended if he didn't crash. I think it would have been really, really close.
Yeah, they were saying that he might have the enough points, you know, if he had overtaken. I think it was BAM7. Here, let's play the video of Roadrunner on Le Mans here real quick. He ended up hitting a tire wall. I don't know if you've seen this yet.
I saw it multiple times.
Here it is. This is what happened in the last race in the finals.
Great replay with Roadrunner because it surprised all of us. He hits the right-hander there and just hits the tires. Just a pure mistake. Went a little wide. Maybe got on the gas.
I like how it
went a little wide there. Hit the tires, man. Now he got full damage.
Out of the way. Like, nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean that. They were saying that there was the car in front. I don't know if you guys saw the car in front of Roadrunner before he spun. That was the spot that he needed to take the championship. So I mean, you know, he doesn't.
That's how close it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here's the final standings. You can see you won 57-48 over Roadrunner. I mean, that's pretty close considering that he spun. I mean, depending on the position that he finished, man. You know, a little bit.
I mean, you can see how intense the pressure was in that situation. For example, when I spun out on that second turn, I really thought that's it, but at the same time I was professional enough to know that I have to keep going. And I mean, I knew it's Le Mans, so people are going to crash because they always crash on Le Mans.
It's a difficult track.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a very long track.
Last year at the third season's grand final, the last race was Le Mans as well, and it was poor chaos.
Yeah, fair enough then.
Yeah, I think Lage got a penalty too in that race, or something, or he spun and Roadrunner won, or I don't remember what happened last year, but
that I can only remember that on the fact strike there were like 5 cars in the wall, and I just passed them all in the grass. Like I was actually driving into the grass to have enough distance to them to not crash into them.
That sounds like pure chaos. We've all been in lobbies like that, I'm sure.
Just go into an online hopper, man.
Yeah.
Online hopper is Le Mans practice.
Do you do a lot of online racing besides when you're on stream? You know, other than that, or are you mostly practicing for RC?
I'm mostly practicing for Forza RC, and I'm even doing that alone. Like, I'm just trying to shoot all the laps alone. I just think I can practice much better when I drive alone.
Yeah,
just helps you focus. So,
it's like, I don't know, if I practice alone and I do a mistake, I can simply rewind and do it as long until I know how to take the corner.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good strategy.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to touch on was, you know, I thought the RC this year was some of the better racing that I've seen, especially there was a quarterfinal race at Indy, the Indy Grand Prix circuit. Can you just like take us through that, because there were at times there were 2x3 wide, there was 4 wide. I mean, can you take us through that, because that was insane to watch.
Yeah, the thing is, I was able to keep with Lage's pace there, which was quite surprising, because in the practice laps we did right before the race, I could not. But I was able to stay with Lage, and I think that's one of Lage's weaknesses. When you give him lots of pressure, he does lots of mistakes. So at the end, I was able to pass him in the second class corner, but that battle costed us some time, so that the people behind us, that they catched up, and there was so much pressure in the battle, because if you're not careful enough, you just drop 4 places at once. So you already have to defend your space, drive extremely hard, and just try to not fall back too much. It's a bit like if you're moving around with your shoulders and trying to push through when you are driving in a pack.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense in there when there's 5-6 cars darting around. Pretty sure if you've done any kind of community racing, you know what that's like.
I mean, after the race, like Lage and me, we just looked at each other like, bro, what was that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we're going to take a little bit of a transition here now. This show, guys, we're going to have a guest on each week, obviously. This week, it's Noble Box. We're also going to be doing a lot of stuff like, going over Forza RC stuff, and we're going to do game content updates, and we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff. We're also going to be talking about some of the main series in Tora and ORL and stuff like that. So we're going to make a little bit of a transition here. We're going to talk generally about the RC now, rather than just specifically about Box, but we love Box's input here. It's going to be extremely valuable. So the first thing I wanted to touch on was maybe some of the surprises and letdowns from the RC and some of the guys that maybe showed out, like Box, or maybe like JSR Mitch, and then maybe some of the guys that didn't perform up to some of their levels. So, Roadkill, I want to start with you. Who are some of the guys that maybe you thought really impressed and made a name for themselves, and then other guys who didn't really live up to what they should have?
I mean, we're going to talk about Billy Sue a little bit. I mean, his first Forza RC, he did quite well. Very strongly. Definitely caught Ali's eye there. Ali Yachts. Mitch definitely. Also like a really strong
Mitch.
For sure. Really strong performance. Definitely some great driving against just about everybody he came up against. Let me think. Hard BR. I mean, everybody said it. He had a lot to prove, and he definitely came through there for a bit.
He just got very unlucky in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Definitely getting caught up with Roadrunner there hurt his chances, and but
sure.
A very intense racer for sure. I don't know if anybody's seen that particular clip where he's focusing very intently on the screen Very intense facials.
Yes.
I know these clips from the Invitational where he was focusing very intensely.
Yeah, he's got an extreme race face. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, he was definitely one to watch. Who have you got your eye on in going into Mexico, by the way?
Who do you think one of the top drivers will be?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I think Leitch is going to invest even more effort after just becoming fifth.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think Mitch maybe hasn't even reached his peak yet, as he only started recently.
Yeah. So he's still got some pace to gain.
And Hard BR is hungry for a successful result as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has the pace, it's just it didn't work out so far. If you have the pace, but it simply doesn't walk out over and over, you get very mad and try to put even more effort in. I mean, it was basically the same with me.
Yeah, so you've been in that position where you've like had a bit of a bad result and then you try to come back stronger.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a motivation for you?
Yeah. It's because I knew that I can do much better.
Yeah.
So one of the other things we're going to talk about on this show is going to be kind of some highlights and maybe some controversial kind of stuff. So I want to pull up the video in the finals with Hard BR and Roadrunner sort of getting into it so that we can kind of dissect it. I also have some of the things that they might have that they said afterwards as well about it. So here's the clip for those of you who did not see it or do not remember it. Here's the clip for you.
Yeah, we're looking at this a couple of times. We're seeing a b0x, a virus, get into Roadrunner. Roadrunner then bumps into Hard BR. So it's a kind of a chain reaction.
I can remember I saw it
Hard BR takes the
happening
worst of it, spinning around
behind me.
He's got, we're still looking to see
when I
damage, but he's well
look
far back in the pack right now.
Just a domino effect there, Brian. Now
It's a good clip.
Yeah. So I mean, looking at that, I mean, on stream they said that Virus got into him, but I looked really closely and I didn't think that he really touched him. I think it looked like Roadrunner just got loose going up Eau Rouge, especially in those cars.
Yeah, it can happen. Like, that was one of the issues when I was practicing, because it was extremely risky to go flat through Eau Rouge and to still have a stable car.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can imagine. I'm assuming the rear end probably got really light going up that part, especially when it sort of crests off at the top there. I don't know, Roadkill. What did you see there? It just, I don't know. It just looked like he got loose and kind of squeezed him.
Yeah, look, I don't know of a time where I thought that going through a Rouge side by side was a good idea, but
not at all. Definitely not a good idea to do that.
That's the number one thing I'm trying to avoid at Eau Rouge.
Yeah, we're looking at this a couple of times. We're seeing a...
yeah, you definitely don't want to go side by side through some areas, and that's definitely probably
one
of the worst ones to go through.
For me, it just looks that Roadrunner got sideways by touching the inside grass.
Yeah, for sure. And then he's kind of
getting
just,
a wheel.
I mean,
on the
I think
curb
RBR is just on his outside there. I mean, I don't think that there's really anything he can do about that. I mean, so that, I don't remember who it was, but the interview lady at Forza RC, she said
Katie?
Yeah, she had the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said that she talked to both of them after the race, and this is what she said about it. She said, Hard BR said he put me in the wall. He saw me and did it anyway. And then Roadrunner said, I lost grip due to it being a technical corner. He was on my outside. He should have given me room. So, coming from somebody who was in that car and in that truck, what is your take on that? I mean, is somebody at more fault than other? Is there even room to give there?
I'm just trying to think it through. The thing is, let's say your car gets on the inside the grass and you start sliding. I mean, what can you even do against that as a driver? Like, you're happy enough to not lose the car if that happens.
Yeah, and on a first lap, you can't really hold up either. Like, as hard BR, you have to put it on the outside. So
I just think they should not have tried to go side to side through there. Things like that happen a lot there.
Yeah.
But I think Hard BR didn't want to risk getting overtaken by people from behind him, so he kept pushing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, on the first lap, particularly when people are right there,
it's
a difficult.
I think it's more a race incident. Like, if you,
I agree.
Yeah.
If you try to view hard VR's perspective, you're not really expecting for the guy who's on the inside to suddenly go to the outside.
Yeah.
But as Roadrunner, you didn't make a mistake necessarily. You just sort of lost the end, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you got
not
cold
really
tires.
your fault either.
He's got cold tires. Too,
Yeah,
and that's the first lap. I mean, I don't, that's hard enough as it is going through there. I don't remember if he got a penalty for that or not.
He didn't.
He didn't? Okay.
No.
So and that's good because there's no reason to put a penalty on that. Sometimes a lot of people feel like the penalties are unnecessary. The one race I think that Liege Lightning incident as well in the semifinals. I don't think that Liege deserved a penalty on that either. I thought that was just racing. He was just trying to get kind of side.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate contact. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Liege do again?
So
he put his M1 Pro car up against Lightning's and they went up into the wall in Suzuka.
Yeah.
Oh.
This one here. I mean, he got a penalty for this. This
Liege?
Liege got a penalty for this. Yeah. I don't really see how that warrants a penalty. I mean, it's racing. I mean, you guys are running so close, like it's really hard to sort of. I mean, I don't think it was intentional. Obviously intentional, but he's trying to side draft him. I think that's a racing incident. I don't think that deserves a penalty.
I'm not sure how these things happen, but they happen a lot. Maybe it's more maybe it's more a thing that only happens in games,
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. That particular reaction, sure.
But
I don't think they get so unsettled, but they seem to just sort of make contact and steer awkwardly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I thought it was interesting that he did get a penalty for it.
Yeah, it seems just like a bit of awkward contact, and you can't really do anything about it. I mean, you're a racer. You want to move forward. The guy in front's a bit slow. You just push it as close as you can. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean,
as far as I'm concerned, that's what you have to do.
Exactly. I mean, we're all racers here as well. I mean, Roadkill and I race community events, and obviously, Box races every day probably. I'm sure.
Most days.
Most days. Yeah.
I mean, you're pushing it to the limit. I mean, especially trying to do something like that. I mean, you're going for the lead. He's trying to get on the inside, going into the next turn. He's trying to go on the outside. I mean, granted, that's not a place where you want to go too wide, but at the same time, I don't think that's warrants a penalty. I mean, if it were blatant, I guess you could say okay, he spun him, but I didn't think it was intentional at all.
Like pushing down to a braking zone, but also, yeah.
I don't think the result of that was intentional.
Right.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely losing out more than everybody else.
Yeah.
Speaking of community events, though, what are your thoughts on the community events so far? You don't participate in them yourself, do you? Much at the moment?
You mean like events like Torah and ORL?
ORL, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not racing in any right now because FRC is really taking up so much time. Most of the times when I do things at Toro, it's like one-time events, like 24 hours off Le Mans. But
Yeah.
I'm not taking part in any 8 weeks racing series.
Well,
Gotcha.
when was the last time you participated in a community event?
Not this year.
Oh, wow.
Last year. I can't remember really.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you don't have much of an opinion on the modern events then?
You what? Sorry?
I said you probably won't have much of an opinion on the more recent Tour or ORL events.
I'm not sure exactly what they are organizing right now.
Yeah.
It's just that time-wise, I am completely full, so I couldn't fit it in.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right. Well, yeah.
Speaking of those, we're going to transition now into some of the community events that are going on. We just want to give the viewers an update on what's going on and maybe go over a few of the things. So what I have here, I'll pull this one up first. This is the Tora TCC drivers standings. For you guys that don't know, Tora is doing the Touring Car Championship and North American Touring Car Championship. These standings incorporate the drop round. There are 2 rounds left. There have been 4 rounds already. You guys can see I Am Tactical up there at the top, HCR Hamish, followed by Mead, Huracan, Cerberus. Sort of want to, touch on this kind of stuff. Jason, what have you noticed? Sort of looking at these standings, what kind of stands out to you?
Well, for one, they're very close in results. I mean, it's a pretty tight top 15. Looks like just less than 100 points, or just over 100 points, separates the entire top 15. I'd say that's pretty close.
Yeah, that is pretty close.
And I also see you're on there.
I am on there, yes, I am on there. I'm just curious, b0x, do you recognize any of these names that are on the screen? I mean,
let me take a look. I know I am tactical. I know a lot from HCR, EVR, Huracan. I recognize lots of them, but they were not competing in Seattle.
right.
Just the Kai on first has 1,337 points.
Yep, that's I Am
Tactical.
Tactical.
1,337 lead.
Yep. Yeah, he's in the lead. Hamish is in second with just 9 points behind, so it should be a good finish towards the end there. Here is the team standings for the TCC. You can see EVR is in the lead. This is one of Tora's biggest sort of community events. So not only to win it is hard, but to win even a team championship is difficult, and it's quite an accomplishment. So I mean, EVR are doing pretty well. Usual Suspects also up there. That should be a great team battle. They're only separated by looks like 31 points as well. So that's pretty close. Next up, we also have NATCC high driver standings as well. You can see I Am Tactical also leading that one as well. He's a front wheel drive. He's a front wheel drive god, man. I don't know. It's he's something else.
Yeah, his lap times are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
You raced Tactical before, b0x?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
He is quite quick. He's quite quick. So, yeah. Also, Prod Captain Cell. They're only separated by 3 points. That should be a great championship to watch as well and keep updated on. I know they're going back and forth. I believe there might be some SIs coming this week as well. Not sure about that. But, I mean, any SI that comes up against either one of those guys we will keep you guys posted on that. The other thing I wanted to touch on, you know, this week is I want to talk about sort of like how the direction that esports is headed, especially in Forza, and how they're going to teams like, well, not teams, but actual gaming organizations now. Some of the breaking news today, in case you guys haven't heard, Roadrunner and JSR Mitch are now on Williams Racing. They just joined today. They are, I believe there's some kind of Formula One esports team. I don't really know too much about it.
They basically the F1 team built an esports team, and they are active in lots of different racing games like Project Cars and other games, and they also were looking for a squad in Forza.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'd never heard of them before. You're seeing it more and more now. I mean, obviously you making a move from TPR or your independent sort of, you know, privateer driving to Noble, which is really a really awesome feat. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thanks, man.
We also see a lot of guys like we have Force One and Racers who are now b0x. We also have we have the partnership with GTR and Legion Gaming. So, you know, is this sort of the direction, b0x, that you think like this is where it should be going, or do you think Forza teams are going to stick
definitely around? I think I actually heard it earlier today after that Williams Esports announcement that Forza teams might have some more trouble in the future, as there are so many racing organizations looking for drivers in Forza, and the regular Forza teams can't keep up with that.
So, I mean, one thing I was wondering was, do you think it's more of like, should they be partnering with these teams? Like, so like Legion GTR is, like GTR Racing Team is partnered with Legion Gaming, pretty much. So they work, you know, cohesively. They work together, pretty much. And they help each other out. They both have benefits and stuff like that. And then there's also just teams like Vitality, where Asics is on, or like Noble, like you're on, or b0x, where they're just simply, you know, sort of racers on that sort of gaming company. Do you think that there's a better like way, one or the other? I mean, because it seems like there's two different ways that you can go about it.
I think Forza teams have to try to become really professional, just like the racing organizations, that they become actual companies who try to make a good financial result. It's just the hard truth about these Forza teams is that they don't really have anything. It's just, you know, they have these drivers, they have a Twitter, they have paint shops, they have a few tunes, but there isn't anything organization-wise, you know, there isn't any cash involved. It's just for fun, and if you tend towards the professional esports career, then you want to go professional. And these teams, they can offer you a lot, like Noble, b0x, and Williams. They have all different things they can offer to the drivers, and it's hard for the Forza teams to offer the same thing. Like, for example, b0x has like a sick racing simulator in London, and if you are a member of b0x, you can basically go there for free.
Wow, that's pretty.
That's
cool.
some pretty good perks. Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
No. Oh well.
I think I think the community does need those teams that aren't totally professional as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
people who are just looking
for sure
for fun, because a lot of times, you know, online hoppers are just terrible. So people want some good racing or an opportunity to win some kind of championship, and you can't really do that. It's really hard to do that by yourself. So joining a team that's maybe not professional, but somewhere where you fit in is also a good route for a lot of people. So there's like community teams. I can't really think of any right now, but there's like just a lot of community teams that out there that.
Well, you got TUS, you got DOR, you got, you know, DRR.
Yeah.
We're all community teams. We race
JSR.
community events.
Yeah.
JSR, I guess that. Yeah, they still do community events.
Yeah, and they're not. I don't think JSR is
TX3 as well.
They are partnered with LDLC though. TX3 is, I believe.
Oh, okay, there you go. Then.
Yeah. So cool. Well, good stuff, guys. All right, so last thing we're gonna do today, guys, before we head off and conclude our first show, we just want to do something called the GT Omega Hot Lap Challenge. I'm sure you guys have heard about it on Twitter. If not, I'm gonna go over it in a second. So b0x here, being our guest, he's going to try to put down his best lap time around a car and track that Roadkill has picked out. Pretty much, we have sort of done it together. He did a lot of the research and development behind this, though. Why don't you tell him about the rest of it? So, you know, tell him about the car, the track, the tune, and yeah.
Well, you can't give too much away about the tune, but the track is Prague Short Reverse, which we all know and love. And the car is Caterham 500 RS, I think, or Superlight, and we all know that car too and love. And we've made it a bit more interesting with a bit more power. And b0x is going to have 3 starting laps and 3 starting standing start laps to get his best lap.
Right.
So we'll see that, and hopefully b0x will give us some nice insight on how to actually play this game.
Yep. So I'm gonna just show you guys.
I will try my best.
So this is the leaderboard. Roadkill and I have set down times. We don't count, obviously, but those are just 2 examples of what the times are going to be about. I'm sure b0x will smash that.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
we
did
I'm
the
not
same.
sure what the tune of the car looks like.
We did the same.
You got
format
siding
you
laps
did.
for that, mate.
Yeah. So for you guys that don't know, this is how it's gonna work. He's gonna start the race. He's gonna go around the track. He's gonna pull to a specific spot on the front straightaway that we've selected for him, and then he's gonna go when he wants, and that'll be his first flyer. He'll go through, and then he'll do another sighting lap, and then come back to that same starting spot, and he'll do it again. He gets 3 attempts to put down his best flying lap. All right. So let me just get the stream up here before we get going.
Yeah. Mention my pink driver suit.
Pink. Okay, yes. b0x has a pink driver suit, so everyone be sure to pay attention to that, please. Alrighty.
Ignore the driving. Just look at the pink driver suit. That's what he's trying to get you to do.
So a couple of fun facts as well, guys, about this this GT Omega Hot Lap Challenge. It is forced cockpit view as well, and he's not allowed any assists. So no racing line, no
ABS,
no
TCS,
nothing. And this car is a handful. This car is an absolute handful.
And this track is perfect for a little car like this.
Yeah.
How are you finding it, b0x?
I'm getting used to it. It's a bit sensitive on throttle.
Yeah, that's the idea.
It is very sensitive.
That's the idea. Okay, so I stop at that arrow.
Yes,
Yeah,
stop at the
right.
arrow on the right side.
Let me find it. Here. Here it is. Okay, can I go when...
You can go when you are ready to go.
Okay. Vroom. Oh, Jesus, stay stable.
Gee, that's a pretty good line. This bit's pretty tricky.
Oh, it's getting a little squirrely. Also, gotta thank GTR for the livery as well. GTR Dose Rock to delivery, great job. Oh, he's he's around. Oh no.
Oh my.
Remember, guys, he's in cockpit view, so this is even more challenging. So that's his first flying lap. He put down a 110.466 on his first lap, and he crashed. He's only roadkill. He's only 4 seconds off of us, and he crashed.
We'll see.
Goodness gracious. So now he's doing his second sighting lap, so he's just kind of getting another feel for the car and getting back around for the to get ready for his second lap. So what's it feel like? I see a wiggle in the car around there. What's that thing feel like, man?
I mean, I actually like it, as it's quite a challenge.
That's what I like to hear. That's good.
It's like I have to counter steer a lot.
I enjoy that as well. That's real driving, I reckon.
Oh wow, this car has like no traction in the final corner.
It's got no traction over this hill either.
When you're ready, man.
Oh my god.
Sideways. Whoa.
He's taking it hot into corner one. That's...
I think he's using stem steering for this too.
He really is.
Very brave. Very brave. Goodness gracious.
The counter steer skills. He goes through that chicane so fast at the start there too.
Yeah.
I'm worried about my lap, dude. I don't think I'm gonna be... Oh, he's wide. We're looking for clean laps, Box. Clean laps.
Uh-oh.
Box is like, uh-oh.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no! Round again.
Do we make this too hard, Box? Is that...
Alright, 108.
It's like,
866.
I want the final straight, and I just want to accelerate, but I can't get any grip.
I'm not apologizing for this.
This is Roadkill's tune. This was all him. I was just told to drive it.
Okay. One more chance.
So this is his other sighting lap. So this is his last one. He's got one more time to put down a lap. Right now he's ran a 108.866 is his best time.
I'm not sure if it's any good. Oh, just hold.
No traction, wow. Just wiggling around.
It's an absolute handful of a car. I love it. It's great.
Last chance for b0x to put down a good lap time. Try to win that full rig setup. It's gotta wait though. It makes it around the first turn pretty nicely. Yeah, so just so the guests are aware, the driver with the best time at the end of the season, excluding myself and Roadkill, will win a full race setup provided by GT Omega. So it's a pretty nice setup. Made it through there pretty cleanly. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good.
Tardy through there. Got the power down well. That's nice.
Okay. Just hold this time.
Just gotta get through it. Just so you guys know, I can't show it on the screen, but in cockpit view, the mirror is right on, like literally right on, like where you're trying to look for the apex of the turn.
Yes, I noticed that.
So you literally can't see what you're doing. All right. So
I picked that car for that reason, and I picked cockpit view for that reason, so it was really annoying.
So, b0x's best lap was a 103.669. That is a great lap time right there. Easily faster than me in Roadkill, but that's pretty good, man. Nice job. That was how was that thing, man? That had to have been a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it took a bit of a time to get used to it, but all right.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so 103.669 is b0x's time. Remember, the GT Omega Hot Lap Challenge, guys, is for a guest every week. They're gonna try their luck on this car, in this track, on this tune, and they're gonna the best driver with the best time at the end of the season of our show is gonna win that full rig setup. Do you guys have any like final thoughts, comments, anything like that? No.
The only thing I said I could have thought is we needed to extend that lap by 1 so that we can get the full 6 laps.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it kind of cut out at the end there because of the spectator lag there. But
delay, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say I expected worse from the car.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
When you told me before the podcast that it's going to be difficult, something different, I really expected worse.
you thought we're gonna put you in like some kind of like I don't even know. Like some kind of BMW Isetta and have it just be like just tune it up to like A class. Yeah, like just let it rip. Oh man. All right. Well. Yeah. b0x, thank you so much for coming on, man. We really enjoyed having you on the first episode. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it was really nice to be your first guest, and I think the format is a really good one as well.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of good feedback from the community as well. So. All you guys that tuned in today, thank you so much. We will be live next week as well. All right, next week we are going to our normal scheduled time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. BST. We just had a little bit of a special time this week because it's b0x, and we whatever we can to get him on, man.
It's late here on Germany.
Yeah. So. Seriously, guys. Also, right below me, right there, that's my Twitter handle. That's b0x's Twitter handle over there. Not over there. Over there. And Roadkill's is over there. Go follow us as well on Twitter to get all the updates, and also follow Off the Track as well on Twitter. It's @OffTheTrack to get all the updates and everything like that. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. Next week, we'll be live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. BST. Our guest next week is none other than TX3 Billy Sue. our good friend. So you guys are not going to want to miss that at all. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. See you guys.
See you.